thatmovieguyUK.
These days I travel to a lot of film festivals and I love it. I love being organised, I love knowing where I need to go, and LFF came around and somehow I forgot to go and see Peter Strickland's in Fabric. Luckily, the LFF gods were generous to me and I got to see it on its last day. I adore Peter Strickland. He is one of the most interestingly peculiar directors in Britain. His films like Barbarian Sound Studio and The Duke of Burgundy have been two of the most interesting films I have seen to come out of these shores of Brexit Island for a while. Within Fabric, I didn't really know much about it, but once I went in, I was pleasantly surprised, as I am with most of Strickland's work. So let's be blunt about In Fabric. It is a film about a cursed, haunted red dress that is bought in a department store, and it kind of curses whoever wears it. We have two stories. One follows the story of a single mother trying to find new love, and the story then transitions into a story about a man who's ready to get married. He wears the red dress on a stag do, takes it home, and his wife wears it too, and then shit goes down. In Fabric is the most beguilingly strange British giallo of the whimsical variety, and I adored it. I was laughing 1 minute, and then the next second I was grossed out of my mind. The next second I was laughing, and the next minute I was panicking because I didn't know what was going to happen next. With Strickland, he just knows how to control comedy and how to control tension and what is going to happen next in the narrative. He takes his time with his framing, he takes time with the scene to let it unravel. Sometimes you just don't even know when it's going to hit, but it hits and you're just like, oh shit, this just happened. And that is the pure joy of this film. Honestly, I just cannot believe how a red dress would be so funny. This isn't a film that is anti-consumerism or anything like that. Strickland did say that in some way that this was a dedication to Maplin, which is an electronic store that actually went into liquidation because the high street is dying in the UK, so he's dedicated to Maplin. I think that's just his spontaneity, and it doesn't really mean that this is a film that is saying that the high street is dying, blah, blah, blah. It is just a horror film. I think what's interesting within Fabric as well, it actually does descend from a story of a single mother then moving to a couple. I think it's a very interesting evolution. I think that in a way I feel like the dress actually picks its victims in some way because the dress just magically appears, and I think that is the odd aspect of it. But saying this, the department store where this dress lives is odd. It's like Debenhams, but in the world of Roald Dahl. The women that run it with the old man who's the boss, it is just freaking freaky. They are dressed up in like Victorian attire. The way that they basically sell anything to you is very eloquent, it's very beautiful, but it's very odd the way that they want you to buy something off them. And it is a very bizarre sequence every time that we're there. Strange things go on in the department store at night, including a very effed up masturbation scene that I don't want to ruin for you, but it is... All I'm going to say is that semen flies in the most poetically artistic giallo way that only Peter Strickland could make it. Fatma Mohammed, who is a recurring player in the Strickland scene, she actually plays the main department store lady, and her delivery of all her dialogue is precise, it is phenomenally interesting and very convincing. I would buy this red dress from her because she just pressures it on you. Hayley Squires and Leah Bill play the soon-to-be married couple in the film, and I really like the way that they worked. I think the fact that they're two polar opposite people, but this red dress actually connected them in a very strange way is really cool. I like the way that the strange events that built up to what concludes the film really works well with them, because you don't really see where this film's going. You're just going through the events, but once the ending hits, you're just like, oh, that's what happens. Jean-Baptiste plays the single mother, and I really did like her segment a lot. A lot of people were complaining to me that it was very Black Mirror-esque, her story, but what I have to say is that she just really doesn't believe what's going on. She really is trying to brush away that this dress is basically trying to kill her. And her naivety really just enhances the film, and it just makes it a lot more deeper, a lot more thought-provoking than what I'm trying to sell to you. But if she wasn't in the film, I don't really know how that segment would have worked, but I do prefer her segment compared to the Hayley Squires segment. In Fabric is not out in UK cinemas until next year, but if you are in mid-Wales, the Abattoir Festival is actually playing in Fabric in mid-November. I'll put a link in the description for you to go check it out, because I would highly recommend you to go and see it. I wish I could go and see it, but unfortunately I'm going to Paris and I'm going to go see High Life. Obviously, my written review will be on my website, www.thatmovieguyuk.wordpress.com, and all my information to follow me and discuss anything with me is below. And obviously, as we say on this channel, diolch, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shuns. And obviously, never change, and don't buy red dresses from freaky department stores, because you just don't know what's gonna happen.